What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 12 of the Talk Nerdy With Me podcast. I'm your host, Nicholas Merrington, and that man in the other window dressed very differently this week. I'm thinking you'll have to explain that outfit to us. I'm joined once again by James Creel. James, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah.
Can
I finished
you?
a 30-day fitness challenge, so that's pretty good.
Well done, congratulations.
My hat's
Can you please explain this outfit to us?
What do you mean explain it? This is how I normally would go out in public, Nick.
Is it?
You should know by now. This is my day-to-day wear.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, company.
weird shirt,
Your company Tuesday.
my lovely hat.
Yeah. I think it's very unique.
Yeah, of course. Unique, old-fashioned, in fashion, signs of mental instability. Call it what you will.
Nice.
It's just very, very fun.
Well, I'm very
But this
very
is probably
happy.
gonna fall off.
It probably will, but thank you so much for dressing up. I really appreciate the effort. You're definitely the better dressed of the two. I am repping a little bit of Marvel today. It is a bit backwards for the viewers, but I promise it's forwards here at my house. Anyway, this is the Talk Nerdy With Me podcast. If you didn't know, this is the show that revolves around all things video games. Join us as we chat, discuss, and argue about the things we love about video games. And remember that if you want to be a part of the show, you can write in or reach us at the email address talknerdywithme21@gmail.com, and go follow us on Instagram at talknerdywithmepodcast. This week's episode, we got a bit of a lighter episode. There's no main topic. There's no big news thing because we're coming to the end of the generations and the new generations are beginning and some are moving on faster than others, unfortunately. And so this episode, we're kind of going to be interviewing James a bit about his last few days with the PlayStation 4. And we got a few little games we're going to play along the way as well. But before we get there, no icebreaker this week. some very heartfelt goodbyes. But before we get there, not really an icebreaker, but we haven't done it for a while, so I just wanted to throw it straight to you, James. What have you been playing?
Well, since a while back, I finished Vampire. There is still
Vampire.
I don't think a definitive answer on how to actually pronounce it.
Oh, yeah, because there's a Y, hey?
Yeah, it's Vampyr. Even though in the game, all of the vampires are referred to as vampires, spelt the right way. So the reason that the name is that has no relevance. There's literally nothing in the game that even says why it's that.
Do you think? Do you think it was to differentiate itself from Vampire the Masquerade?
Considering that entire series is called Vampire the Masquerade, like it's not. I don't think the
but with a
brand is
colon.
even just Vampire. But I don't know. Is the brand just Vampire, or the brand is Vampire the Masquerade?
I'll look it up for us, but you can carry on so long.
Well, since I finally finished that, I went back to finish the game on Switch, Ni no Kuni. So I'm near the end. I'm right near the end, and I want to get that done before PlayStation 5. And if I finish that before PlayStation 5 and I've got time, I'll either start. Actually, I probably won't start anything, so I want to dive into Miles Morales as soon as I get the PS5. So I'll probably not play anything, or I'll start Hollow Knight.
Nice.
I don't think Hollow Knight's too in-depth a story that I'll get dragged in, but it's a platformer, 2D side-scroller type of vibe.
Yeah.
So probably try that.
Nice.
Just free.
I just checked, so it is Vampire : the Masquerade. So I'm guessing that just for reasons of making sure people understand that they're different universes, different games entirely. Maybe that's why they changed the R to the Y.
Maybe.
I mean,
Well,
we live in a world where a game called Gods and Monsters had to change their name because of Monster Energy. So, like, you know, anything can occur at this point. You know, doesn't surprise me.
We also live in a world where there's 2 Vampire the Masquerade games coming out, where one is a follow-up RPG and the other one is a battle royale.
I don't know that. That's interesting.
Check the trailer. It doesn't look that great, but still. It looks like it'll die quickly. But it's just interesting that there's 2 completely different games with the exact same thing, with different publishers and different developers.
Nice.
Nothing links them.
Well,
except the name.
For myself, obviously Miles Morales is 2 days away from me as of the day of recording this. And I have it downloaded, ready to go. Obviously just waiting for that clock to tick down to 0. So, you know, about 2 weeks ago, in celebration of Miles Morales coming, of course, I restarted Spider-Man again. I played the New Game Plus for the first time because I lost my very first save. So my second time playing the game was basically my first version of playing the game. You know what I mean? Anyway, I played New Game Plus on Spectacular Mode.
On your new PlayStation.
Exactly. Just finished it today. Actually made James wait to start recording because I was in the last cutscenes, and my third time playing the game, and it still hits home. Still very special. I think I'll probably make some kind of tradition about it. Maybe playing the game once a year or so. But what a awesome thing to finish 2 days leading up to Miles Morales. I'm very up to date on the story, and I'm very ready to jump into that game, and I can't wait. And I had such a ball with the game. Playing on spectacular difficulty, I think, was actually the best time I've had with the game from a gameplay point of view, because it's not a particularly difficult game. It's not like a Souls-like game with regards to difficulty, but at least tests you, makes you switch between the gadgets. So yeah, I had a ball with it, and I'm so looking forward to getting my hands on Miles Morales in 2 days' time. I do write an exam that I'm studying for, but I'm going to play it anyway. Yeah.
Quick side question. What do you think's the chance that they'll actually release... Because I was thinking about it, like, with Assassin's Creed, for instance, they had those things where they bundled the Assassin's Creed 3 remaster in as part of the AC Odyssey Season Pass, and they're like, no, it's only in the Season Pass. Then they're just like, oh, like 6 months later, here it is, standalone. We're kidding. Same with, what is it, Infinite Warfare and the Modern Warfare remaster. Like, what do you think's the chance that this Miles Morales Ultimate Edition stuff is just going to be blown over, and we're going to actually be able to buy the PS5 version of Spider-Man for PS4 separately?
So I'm doing a quick Google, but I did read something on it. I remember reading that if you buy the PS5 version of Miles Morales, you can at any point upgrade it for $20 to the Ultimate Edition, which includes the remastered version. So from that point of view, it sounds like it's just an extra $20 to get the game, but with the prerequisite that you own Miles Morales. So I'm actually going to have a look. I doubt I will be able to find it right now, but that is a very interesting question. I mean, surely they need to sell this game separately. Otherwise, there's no way for someone to play the game without buying Miles Morales. But then again, it's Sony. Yep. You know, they probably want money, especially at the beginning of the generation. So I would say for the first maybe 6 months, 3 months even, I don't see it happening. I think that they want to make sure that, get Miles Morales and then Spider-Man Remastered. It's a package, and that's just how it is on PlayStation 5. I wouldn't be surprised if like 6 months in, they're like, all right, it's separate, go for it. You know, PlayStation 5 hits 2 years down the line or whatever, you know, or if eventually Spider-Man joined the PS Plus collection. I mean, that's not really out of the question, especially like maybe closer to the time of Spider-Man 2. Then they'll probably want to hype it up by giving it away for free, kind of.
Possibly. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn's just late next year, and we didn't, or Horizon Forbidden West, and Horizon Zero Dawn wasn't in PS Plus.
Yeah, but it's a great question.
That is a surprising one, actually.
I'm very curious to see what happens. And other than that, I actually haven't been playing much. I've just been focusing on Spider-Man, and I've been watching a lot of series lately. You'll be glad to know I finally started all these Marvel Netflix TV shows. By accident watched Jessica Jones first. I know I should have done Daredevil, but finished Jessica Jones season 1, busy with Daredevil season 1, and I'm really enjoying it. So
how amazing is David Tennant as the Purple Man?
Yo, it's crazy. He looks like Hugh Jackman. It was pretty cool.
I loved it. I love the Purple Man, and I love David Tennant. He's so good at being somehow suave and charming while creepy at the same time.
Yes, he's British Hugh Jackman to me. That's my best way of describing it. And scrawnier.
Not nearly as much. Yeah, I was about to say, but then again, most roles we see Hugh Jackman in, he's bulked up for. So not even Hugh Jackman looks like Hugh Jackman. Very
true. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. And we're going to get straight into just kind of the main topic, I guess you could call it. And James, we're going to be coming straight to you. I'm going to be asking you just a few questions as you come to the end of your PlayStation 4 lifetime. Obviously, you'll still... obviously, when you get a PlayStation 5, everyone knows you have to set your PS4 alight, throw it out the window, and that's the end. You know, you never get to touch the DualShock 4 again. So the first question I have for you is, how do you feel about your time with the PS4 coming to an end? And let's just start there. How do you feel about your time with the PS4, sunsetting?
I mean, I'm looking at it now. seeing how the light reflects off of its shiny part versus the matte part, looking at that beautiful line that lights up down the middle, or I 1/3 through the console, not the middle. But yeah, no, it was actually really cool. Like, this was the first console that I properly like bought myself. Well, no, I didn't buy it myself. Sorry, I misspeak on that. The first console that like I was fully hyped for, like its launch. Like, it's the same as like it was the first E3 really we followed was actually when these things launched. So it
Yeah.
was like hype train took me all the way. And yeah, I've had it since 6 months after the thing launched. So this thing's lasted me for a solid 6.5 years, I want to say. So I mean, it's lasted me pretty well. And I mean, in all honesty, it's been a great console to have, but I'm ready to like move on, especially to quieter fans. To no longer have to sit here with headphones on and be like, yep, that's the game audio, but I can still hear the PlayStation. Like, you put it onto max volume, you can still hear this thing. And yeah, I'm ready to get past that. It's also just, I think it's showing its age. You know, we both once had that problem where it just auto ejected discs, and sometimes even if there's no disc in, it just runs the ejector and just makes that grrr noise constantly. Like, yeah, there's lots of things I'm just like, yeah, I'm ready to upgrade, but I will still keep it around because, you know, it means a lot.
Sure. That is illegal, but I'll let it slide. And the next question I have for you is, obviously your PlayStation 5 is arriving in 2 weeks' time from today, plus a few days. And what is it? 2 weeks' time? Is it next week? Two weeks' time, right?
Next week? No, it's 1 week. It's 9 days.
Okay.
Next week,
what
Thursday.
feature of the PlayStation 5 are you most excited for? What piece of hardware, whether that be the controller, whether that be the SSD, what part of it excites you the most to get your hands on?
Probably the SSD and the controller. Just no more loading times. Being able to finally take advantage of the 4K TV I bought specifically for the PlayStation 5. Like, I'm really excited to have a console that, like, I got the TV in at preparation for it, just so I was like, I'd have something that I could actually fully take advantage of the console with. And then also the haptic feedback. Like, I realize that there's games that are mainly going to be first party or likely use it, but I mean, there's always like 1 or 2 Sony first party games a year. So there's always going to probably be something that's going to use it well. So I'm really excited to see how that feels. Also, the new design. Like, I came from Xbox 360, same as you, to PS4. And while the DualSense 4 is great, the Xbox 360 controller is still more comfortable overall for like long periods. So I'm really excited to see what the DualSense feels like.
Yeah, I think one thing that's exciting to me about the DualSense is they say it's slightly bigger than the DualShock 4. I feel like, to me, the DualShock 4 is just too small for my hands. The Xbox 360 controller was slightly bigger in my hands, it felt like, compared to the DualShock 4. Even the Xbox One controller, I have held one before, a couple times, and it's also very small for my hands. So I'm excited for the bigger controller that's at least, it's attached, it's inside the box. I don't have to go out buy a third-party controller just so I have a comfortable time gaming. You okay there?
Yeah, I think the only one, my hat keeps falling. The Xbox 360 I found was like almost perfect. The Xbox One, I found like the thumbsticks were always weirdly small to me. I don't know why. I always felt like the thumbsticks were just tiny.
Nice. Well, that's very exciting. I'm very, very jealous that I don't get to get my hands on that DualSense. I wish I could just come to your house and just be there when you unboxed it. I just want to see it in person. Hopefully like BT Games or something just have a display of it. Or yeah?
I'll video call you.
Yeah,
I'll
please.
Video call you when
I genuinely want to see. I want to see you. You know that Sony video where they're like, "Look how easy it is to take off the panels." I want to see how easily you can pull off the white panels.
How easy is it? I pull it off and just rip the thing in half and break it, and I'm just like, nah.
Series S. Let's just go pick it up. Awesome. The next,
so annoyed.
The next question I got for you, James, is what is going to be the first game what game are you planning on playing first on your
Miles Morales
on your PS5? Miles Morales. You're not going to even you're not even going to open up Astrobot.
I'll play it, but like obviously like I've got work, so as soon as I pick up the console, all I'm doing is I'm going to set it up, get it all done, and then start the downloads.
Yeah.
So because of my internet being very fast, I don't doubt. How big is Miles Morales? Like 40 gigs?
It's 50 gigs on PS4. Not sure what difference.
Yeah, it's bigger than I thought. But then again, it is the whole map, even if it is less stuff in it, mission-wise. But okay, cool. Then that's bigger than I thought it'd be. But anyway, that should download before I finish work. So I won't Astro's Playroom is going to be something I want to play, but I want to get straight into a game that fully works the PS5 as much as a cross-gen game can.
Yeah.
Because Astro's Playroom works the DualSense. Astro's Playroom isn't really working the graphical intensity.
Yeah, I agree. I guess something that's interesting to ask then is, what mode are you planning on playing in? I don't know the words, I might get mixed up. There's fidelity and there's performance, I think. And the one is obviously gives you the 4K. The one gives you the 4K resolution, but I think at a slightly lower frame rate, while the other one prioritizes frame rate. Do you think you have a preference?
From what I've seen of some videos, I definitely want to do fidelity mainly. So because the amount of improvements with the 4K resolution locked at 30 frames, the ray tracing, all of that type of stuff, the lighting effects, for just playing the game, seeing cutscenes, doing missions, that seems like the best.
Yeah.
But for moments when I'm just free roaming New York and just doing some side missions and going between places, I might switch to the performance, because I've heard that the absolute smoothness of motion for web swinging in performance, I guess to the human eye, you don't really see it, but then someone in that IGN video slowed it down to 20 frames per second, so you can see where it kind of glitches through the 30 frames, but then you see it on 60 much smoother.
Yeah.
So I really want to see that, just to see it, but I'm pretty sure I'll spend most of my time in fidelity.
Nice. The next question I have for you is, this is obviously a big console, much bigger than the current PS4 you have. What is your plans for, where are you planning on keeping it or putting it? Are you going to be putting it vertically or horizontally?
This spot right there.
So it's going to be standing vertically, I'm guessing.
Most likely, yes. It will stand vertically, and it'll most likely face along the wall, so the disk drive is facing towards this wall here.
Okay.
And then when I want to play it, I can always move my laptops forwards. I say laptops, one's work, one's mine. I don't have two, just for fun. When I want to play it, I move it forwards, put discs in if I need to, other stuff like that. But otherwise, it doesn't really bother me for it to just stand side on.
The only problem then is I don't think you'll have the PlayStation logo. You'll just have this white panel. People are going to walk into your room and be like, why is there a white A3 piece of paper just chilling on your wall,
It's not an A3 piece of paper, it's a modern art piece.
It's a statement.
Of course.
And James,
it's a statement against capitalism.
James, the last question I have for you is the one that I got. I probably got 1,000 emails. I actually had to almost consider changing it to talknerdywithme22@gmail.com just because it was a bit overwhelming. Everyone wants to know, are you going to be playing Bug Snacks, since it is a free game you'll be able to acquire because you have PS Plus?
Of course I'll play it. I can't say when I'm going to play it, but I'll play it.
James, are you going to prioritize Bug Snacks so you can report back and review on it for us?
If you really want me to, Nick, I will go straight from Miles Morales to Bug Snacks. I will put off Greedfall, Final Fantasy 15,
Shadow of War.
Shadow of War, Days Gone.
James, so you heard it here first. James is going to play and review Bug Snacks for Talk Nerdy. He will report back to the Talk Nerdy With Me podcast with his impressions. James, it's only a 10-hour game from what I hear, so it's not going to be taking a chunk out of your time,
Apparently.
So, but it has to be non-spoilery because I want to go in completely blind when I finally get my hands on the game. Okay.
I will be as vague as possible. I will literally write a script beforehand so that it's literally everything. I will edit it down to the last word, that it is completely vague.
Cool. And then you can also report back on your 5 favorite Bug Snacks.
Oh yes, which one I most want to eat based on what it changes my body parts to.
Yes, I'll back it. Awesome. James, I'm so excited for you to get your PlayStation 5. I'm also very jealous and I can't express that enough. But I'm not going to. I'm just rather going to be happy for you. I'm so excited to see how just to hear about your experiences with it, especially with the haptic feedback, the SSD, and also us. Neither of us had a PS4 Pro, so we really have been playing on the back end of where graphics are on consoles. So it's going to be so cool hearing what it's like, out there at the front end. I'll just chill at the back here. I'll just make sure everything's all good on the PS4 and hold down the fort, and I'll catch up with you later. But, thank you for answering the questions, and I can't wait to hear back from you when you have the console in your hands.
Just pray that Cybersmart, not Cybersmart, I literally just said the name of one of the companies that I do. Yeah, Cybersmart is one of the companies that the company I work for services. I got so confused. I started speaking about my work. No, you just have to hope Cyberpunk actually runs well on PS4 based on the current.
I mean, I just hope that the fact that it's been developed for this generation, or I imagine it was developed for this current generation. I hope that's enough to say that it will run. It will not run well, at least, as well. I don't want it to just, chug on. And I especially don't want to, I think back to the beginning of the PS4 generation. Or actually, not really beginning. It was a few years in. Do you remember Black Ops 3 came to Xbox 360 and PS3 with just the multiplayer and the zombies, but the graphics were horrible. Basically, they had the same map layout, and they actually just removed items and textures, and it was, I don't even think it was developed by Treyarch. I think it was handed off to a different studio. But I just hope that it's not like my Night City is like 4 roads, 2 blocks, and yours is like 20. It's like I got like 2 NPCs chilling in my world, and you got like 1,000. So I hope they're still developing with the PS4 audience in mind. I'm sure they are.
It's all story content, I'm pretty sure they would. I think it might be just lots of bells and whistles that they have to possibly drop.
Yeah. Well, we'll see when we get there. So, to all you listeners, look forward to hearing James's hands-on impressions with the PlayStation 5 in the weeks to come, as well as his impression, or both of our impressions on Miles Morales. And James is going to be reviewing Bug Snacks for us in the foreseeable future. For now, we're going to be moving on to a little bit of a gaming segment. We have a bit of time left, so we're going to be playing a version of Video Game 20 Questions, similar to that of Game Scoop at IGN, where I have a game in mind. James has 20 questions, yes or no questions, to guess that game. James, we're going to do the rules slightly differently to Game Scoop, just that at Game Scoop, they say you're only allowed one guess of what the actual game is. You're more than welcome to have as many guesses as you want, and obviously just counts as a question. If I can't give you a yes, if I can't give you a yes or a no answer, then the question doesn't count. And then when we finished, if we have time, then if you have a game, you can go next. But yeah, James, I have a game in mind. I wrote it on my phone. I don't know why I'm looking at it. There's really no reason to, but I have the game here. And you have 20 questions to guess the game.
A few moments later.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had a bit of a mess up. Unfortunately, my assistant told me the incorrect information when I asked about who developed a certain game. I have edited out my portion of the 20 questions because of that, so James was unable to get the answer. So instead, James is going to go. He has a game in mind, which I'm going to be trying to guess. For those of you who are interested, the game that I did have in mind was Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zero. So, it was the little the prequel, which was not developed by Square Enix, but I don't know why in my mind it was shown at a Square Enix conference, so I'm so sorry about that. It is Konami. But anyway, without further ado, James, take it away.
What do you mean take it away? You're the one guessing now.
Tell me to start.
Start. You can ask the first question.
Alright. Is this game playable on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One generation of consoles?
Currently, no.
Currently, no. Okay. Is this game out? Has it been released?
Yes.
Okay. Is this game... Did it, was it highly praised? Did it receive good reviews?
Yes.
Is it Disco Elysium?
No.
Oh, I was like, oh, I'm going to get this too easily. I got to make content here. Come on.
No, I am excited for that though.
Okay, so is it playable on PC?
I'm gonna say yes, but let me double check.
Okay,
But I'm pretty much certain it should be.
so it's a game that's not on PS4 or Xbox One yet, even though we're coming to the end of a generation. What console can have games that haven't moved over yet? I mean, that leaves Switch, that leaves PC, that leaves mobile. Is it a
Yes,
mobile
it
game?
It definitely was or is on PC.
And is it a mobile game?
No.
Okay. I know I'm burning questions here, but I need to be sure. Is this game on the Switch?
No.
Okay. So that means it's an old game. It must be from some past generation of consoles. I've just burnt a whole lot of questions here, which I know isn't great. But we're still going to get
27.
this. Okay, so
My hat.
is this game... I just need to know the console. I just need to know. Is this game playable on the Xbox 360 and PS3 generation of consoles?
Yes.
Okay. And it's not here yet, which means there must be a remaster coming to the current generation. So what games have remasters coming out? Is this game in the third person perspective?
Yes.
All right. Is it an RPG?
Yes.
All right. Is this game set in the modern world? By that I mean like our version of Earth, no magic, like guns, fighting and normal. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes, but no, it's not set in our version.
Okay.
It's not set in our time.
All right, but it's
I'll give you that,
okay. So it could
I
be
feel
future
like
or past.
If I just say no, if I just say no, you might, because your questions made it sound like you were asking specifically fancy stuff, I might throw you.
James, I got you. Hey. All right. Is this game set in space?
Yes.
Hey, okay, now it's about narrowing it down. Is this usually people... Okay, I guess that's not really a question I can ask. Is this the final game in the trilogy?
No.
Where to go from here? Where to go from here? I was gonna be like, is this game a prime number? But both left are prime numbers, so it doesn't matter. All right, is
this game even or odd?
how can I make this as difficult as possible? Yeah. If I were to insert the number associated with this game into Java language, programming language, and I were to mod it by 2, would the answer... Okay, it's too complicated. James, is this the first game in the trilogy?
Yes.
Is it Mass Effect?
Yep.
Oh my word. I'm glad I was able to get it. It makes me feel, I'm 1 for 1 here, and you are 0 for 0 because yours, I guess, doesn't count. But
Fair. But I wanted to just make sure that got more highlighting, because I'm
Yes.
excited as all hell to
Me
be able
too.
to finally play Mass Effect.
Me too.
Because I missed them, completely missed it on 360. PS4 came out, never went backwards to 360 again, and I really want to play them, and they're coming, I think, next year.
yeah, I'm so excited. I remember I played Mass Effect 2 on Xbox 360, but I rented it. So I had one night with it, had a lot of fun. You played Andromeda, eh? I never played Andromeda.
Regrettably, yes. I played all of it, and I played it in French.
Oh yeah, I remember that when you were taking your French class and you're like, I
Yeah.
gotta get the French hype going, gotta play all my games in French.
But now, trust, Andromeda had very good combat compared to the previous Mass Effects. That's what...
Yeah.
Like, even I'll admit the combat system was actually really good.
And great
the
facial
cover system
animations.
and everything. Yeah, but then, as you said, everything else was just...
Yeah. But that wraps up episode 12 of the Talk Nerdy With Me podcast. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please give it a like and subscribe. And remember, if you want to be a part of the show, to email us at the email address talknerdywithme21@gmail.com, and go follow us on Instagram at Talk Nerdy With Me podcast. James, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for putting up with me being so silly about the whole Square Enix thing. But I'll definitely do more research next time to make sure. And thank you for dressing up.
You're welcome. I'll run out of things to use as outfits probably pretty soon. I don't have too many random items in my room.
I'm sure. Just make sure you keep the clothes on, as that's all I ask, and the viewers ask. But that wraps up the episode. Like I said, thank you so much for listening to all of you who are, and we'll see you guys next week. Cheers.
Bye.